What's up, Jace? How's it going, bud? So today is September 30th. By the way, happy birthday, Mom. Which means that we have now reached the end of September. But as the poets say, with every ending comes a new beginning. But unfortunately for us, that new beginning is flu season. Now, Jace, there's not a lot of things in this world that I absolutely hate. But one of those things is being sick. So in order to combat that horrible sickness, I have to do something that I hate almost as much. Just it's neck and neck. Every year I go through this debate on if I should do it, if I should not do it, because I mean it's like this, you know, it's just that thing is getting flu shots. And I'll admit it, I don't like getting shots. I don't like being stabbed with a piece of metal, which if done incorrectly could inject oxygen directly into my bloodstream and, you know, kill me. But the worst part about getting a shot isn't necessarily the stabbing or the pain, and it's not the color of the band-aid that the person gives you, because they gave you the orange one when you wanted the blue one. The blue one looked much better on you anyways, but you know, you got the orange one, so why not just rock that, right? No. It's none of those things. The worst part of getting a shot is when the person who is doing the stabbing tries to distract you from the fact that you are about to be stabbed. Allow me to give you a brief example of what I mean. So shots make you nervous? Yeah, I'm scared of needles. No, don't really like needles. Not too much. Oh, you're funny. Oh yeah, it's gonna be fine. It's fine. Just, you know, tell me about something. Let's talk about it. So you don't like needles. Why don't you like needles? Is it because they're sharp and painful and you just don't want to get stabbed? Yeah. Yep, that's why. So yes, in general, I don't like to be stabbed with things. But every year I do get my flu shot, including this year. I would show you the hole, but it's rather grotesque. It's gigantic. It's like the size of a peanut, I swear. Might be a slight exaggeration, but man, it's just, they say, you know, work it out. Work out the soreness. If you keep it busy, it's not gonna happen. Well, guess what? You stabbed me in my left arm and I'm right-handed, so let me explain to you exactly how the whole thing went down. This year, my work, the generous, possibly torturous company that it is, they offered everyone a free flu shot. So I decided I want nothing to do with this. I do not want my coworkers to watch me nearly pass out. Not actually pass out, but you know, the legs start to go, and then it's a great thing that they have you sitting while you get your shot, generally, because if you don't, I feel like the legs are gonna go, and then you fall, and I don't feel like I'm gonna pass out, but I mean, if you fall, I mean, people are gonna never let you live that down. So to avoid the whole situation, I decided I'm not gonna get my flu shot at work. I'm going to just go to my parents, I'm gonna go cry to my mom and say, Mom, I need to get a flu shot and I need you to hold my hand. I'm not ashamed of that. So I go to the area where everyone was getting their flu shots, and I notice, not only do they have flu shots, but they have nasal versions of the flu shot as well. So I think to myself, I will participate in your flu vaccination this year. Thank you. But I made a cardinal mistake. I not only went with myself, but I went with my other coworkers. Now, I informed my fellow coworkers that they did in fact have these nasal versions of the shot, and that we would not need to be in pain for this process at all. We could simply have our nasal cavities impregnated with glorious flu vaccination and avoid the painstaking stab of the needle. But unfortunately, one of my coworkers decided, no, I will take the shot. And then another coworker said, I too will take the shot. And they turned to me, and I said, yeah, sure, I'll get the shot. At this time, panic became rampant. My heart rate started to rise as I knew that the stab was coming. I stood outside the torture room, waiting, watching, as my coworkers and friends walked into that room with working arms, glorious arms, dare I say, perfectly healthy arms. And I watched as those friends came walking back out of that room, now with holes in those perfectly good arms. And I watched as they struggled and rubbed those arms, as instructed to do so. And before I knew it, my time had come. I stepped into the room in a panic, not knowing what to expect, not knowing where I was going, not knowing if I would come out alive or dead. But I took a deep breath, and I walked to the open chair where I was greeted by an elderly woman with a great and happy smile. And I sat down as she said, as if she had known me my entire life, knew all of my fears and my darkest desires, and she asked me, "Are you afraid of needles?" And I responded, "Yes. Yes, I am." And she sat me down and began to squeeze my arm. And she said, "Why? Why are you afraid of needles? What is it about them that scares you? What draws out this fear?" And I responded, "I truly don't know. I have no recollection of any time that any needle has ever grazed my skin and caused any infliction rather than a small wound. But there was one incident where..." And she stopped me and said, "It is done." And I was rather perplexed by what she said, because I did not know, and I did not think for a moment that I would not be able to feel the stabbing of a needle, or the pressure of a vaccination infiltrating my skin, becoming part of me. But it did. So I stood from my chair, and I looked at the woman, and she back at me. And for that brief moment, we shared a connection of complete and total understanding. And after staring awkwardly for about 5 seconds, and her probably questioning why I was staring at her, I turned. And I exited the room to join my friends, now my brothers, as we now share the same mark that we will always have. And that mark will forever serve a purpose in reminding us of that day, and me of that glorious nurse who saved me from the flu. She also gave me a pretty wicked neon band-aid, so I'm pretty sure she was into me. Well, that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, let me know down below. Jace, I will see you on Thursday. You will see me next Tuesday. Later.